Give me just a second, everybody. I'm trying some stuff out new here, so you'll have to give me just a minute here. Okay, there we are. We are on. All right. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Ken Johnson, and we are looking at the chances for thunderstorms here this evening. And so far, these thunderstorms have not been all that intense. So, give me just a second here. I just went past some stuff I didn't need to go past. So, give me just a second to fix this here, and we'll get back in with it here in just a second here. But yeah, again, we're not so far. Thunderstorms have really struggled, and these thunderstorms are the reason why I believe that they're struggling so much anyway is just the fact that there's just not a lot of moisture out there. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to shut this down and bring this back up. Give me just a second. I'm gonna stay on here though, but just give me a second. I got to shut my weather computer down anyway. It's acting funny. It's not doing what I want it to do. So if you look over here on the right though, we do got weatherman Cam out there, and we're not going to. I'm not taking his audio, but he is out and about. He's in his element. You know, that's what he wants to do. He wants to chase storms. That's what he really wants to do here. So that's what he's doing. And as you can see, there are some pretty good cloud tops out there, but so far these storms have really just had a struggle to take off because there's just not a lot of moisture. All the push in the atmosphere is north of us up there, closer to the central and northern parts of Oklahoma, and that's now shifting over to the east now. And so far, the good news is this weather event really hasn't been too bad. There's been some wind and some hail up there in central and northern Oklahoma, and I'll show you that as soon as I can get my computer back up and running again here in a moment. But you got to, again, just kind of forgive me for some of this stuff. I'm experimenting with some new things here this evening. I'm just trying some new things out, so you'll just have to just give me and just bear with me here for just a minute. And while we don't have a lot going on in our area right now, is the perfect time to play around with that. So, all right, so I've got it back up again now. So let's see what I need to do. So there is the radar. Let me see if you guys can see that on your end here. Let me pop that back up here. Give me just a second. I got to do another screen share. All right, so now you should be able to see it now, and I do apologize for that. Like I say, I'm trying some new things out here this evening, so hopefully, it works out for me. But anyway, so this is what we're looking at in terms of thunderstorms here. So far, it just really hadn't been much to a lot of this. And there's your tornado watch north and northeast of us there, up there towards Oklahoma City. And so far, no severe weather watches or warnings or anything like that down our way. So here's a look at the radar. And once again, these are just, they've tried, but there's just not much to them. Right now, we got some of these showers up here into parts of Oklahoma. They're just, Cameron says that the temperature there is where he's at. He's in Geronimo, Oklahoma, is 78 degrees. The dew point there is 66, which that's actually not bad. If you look here, this is your cold front coming into play now. This is it here. And we'll see if that can play a role as it moves eastward. There's been some indications that we could see a bit of an uptick in some storms in this area, but that remains to be seen. So far, they've really struggled a bit. And down to the southwest now, out ahead of that front, you're also seeing some showers firing up here in the northwestern parts of Texas, northern Baylor County. That'll track up into Will Barker County and into Wichita County. But if it's anything like the storms that we have had throughout the day and the evening, those what happens is they pop up and they look like they're about to take off, and then they just kind of just collapse on themselves. There's just not enough push in the atmosphere, not enough moisture to really get them going. So that's probably a lot of what's going on with all of this here. So, but we are watching it and keeping an eye on it and seeing how things are going to try to hopefully materialize here this evening. And if I can take a look at things, we can probably go and show you from Weatherman Cam's standpoint. And wherever he is kind of just looking at a fence post there, or fence there, and some looks like some machinery on the other side of that fence. So not a whole lot going on there to see from Cameron's storm chasing feed at this point in time, but he is out and about. So hopefully if he does get on anything, we can be sure to, we'll let you see all of that. So that's the plan anyway. That's what we're hoping for. So, All right, we'll jump back over to the radar if we could real fast here. And again, it's just not showing a lot in the way of storm activity here. Now there are storms, but they're mostly up to our north here. They're mostly up here into Oklahoma and Kansas. But these have just been severe thunderstorm warnings. No tornado warnings on any of this stuff here. That could change, and maybe over the next several hours, the atmosphere, at least up here in Kansas and southeastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma, a little more favorable if those thunderstorms out ahead of that line can maintain themselves and can become supercells. There could be a couple tornadoes with that. You're seeing some of that activity also trying to increase over here in southeastern Oklahoma. But over our way, again, most of these storms have really struggled to be able to really take off. And even that one down there in the Baylor County will probably follow suit. It'll probably struggle as well. So we'll just see if anything can get going here this evening. Let me see if we can pull in some of the latest weather data here to see if this will work or not. Let's see if this shows anything different. So, but yeah, it's about the same. It really hadn't changed. It does show maybe after 8 or 9 o'clock, some of those storms trying to get a little bit better organized there. But we'll just have to see if that can happen. Our main concern with storms mostly is going to be just some hail and maybe some gusty winds. That's the main thing we're, looking out for, at this particular time. So we'll certainly be keeping an eye on that for you here and letting you know what we see and if we do see anything a little bit better. And so while I've got you on here for at least a few minutes, I'm going to play around with some stuff here. This is a product that we got at the station a while back. It's called Restream. Pretty cool little program. I like it. I need to be sure to get my chat on here too, so I can see that. Yeah, I will have to try, Lori, to do a closer view of the radar. Again, I'm trying to do something different here, and it's difficult to be able to do what I'm trying to do. I haven't figured out what I'm wanting to do yet. So what I'm doing is called a screen share, and so you're not able to see, the close up picture of my radar here right now. But I can. Let me see if there's anything I can do to make it at least a little bit better here. I might can expand it some here, and let's see if that helps a bit. It might help some, but probably not much. Let me see. I keep on clicking on the wrong thing here. So that might be at least a little bit bigger. I can probably expand this out to go even bigger. So yeah, that helps out at least a little bit there. I mean, this is certainly, if we were in a big severe weather situation, I wouldn't be doing that this here. I'd be doing other things. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring in my storm chaser and have myself and radar and everything on it. They just don't make. They do make a platform out there that you can do it on, but it's hard to do what I'm trying to do. Very, very difficult. So, but I'm trying to. I've got some ideas in my head, but so far it's just kind of, it's just kind of a trial and error kind of thing. So you'll have to just kind of give, I just have a little patience. Like I say, if we really had a lot going on right now, I wouldn't be doing this. Since we're kind of quiet at this moment and just kind of seeing if things break out. That's why I'm doing this instead. So I'm gonna try playing around with a little something here too for just a second here. Well, see, I was hoping that would bring something else in, but it did not. So, so that's not going to work. So let's replace that. Oh, nope. Let's just hide this. So I've not yet figured out everything it is here that I want to do here with it. And there's Cameron's storm chase. Feels like he's getting some gas. You can see the tops of that thunderstorm over that way. So yeah, there's Weatherman Cam and his feed there, which isn't really good. I have his volume muted, by the way, at this present time, so that's why you don't hear him. So, but yeah, there's the radar, and if we look down to the south, this little shower is trying to develop, but it's doing kind of like the other ones. It moved right over Lake Kemp. and then as it moves. Well, Cameron, I can't hear you. That's the problem. I mean, let me. I guess I could plug this in. Let me plug my mic in or my earpiece in and see if we can do this. All right, we're gonna experiment and see. All right, so give me a second. I'm gonna try to bring Cameron in. All right, give me just a second here. All right, so I'm going to unmute you, Cameron. Give me a second here to figure out. There it is. All right, Cameron, can you talk to me?
I am talking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ken?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm trying some different things out here on this, and so far, Cameron, it's not. I'm not able to do exactly what I'm wanting to do. Okay,
Yeah.
uh, but I am trying, and we'll just see, see how it all plays out. How does my audio sound on your end?
Sounds good.
Okay, no stat. Like on my end, I can hear myself in my mic, and it's real staticky. But
You're gonna have you have what's called like voice feedback, so you hear yourself through the microphone when you talk. You just gotta get used to it.
right. All right. So, but yeah, I would like to be able to bring a lot of other things in, but I mean, this is really cool, but I just really can't. I really haven't been able to get like I say, done what I wanted to get done. But I am
Right.
playing around with it, so maybe we can at least figure something out a bit here. So tell everybody what you've been witnessing out there in the field here this evening.
More like what have I lacked to witness out here? We've seen a couple storms try to go up over the past couple of hours, but there's just not enough push in the atmosphere where we see them pop up as a little bit of a shower and then they diminish to ultimately nothing. And the storm you just had on my feed, that was a storm near Geronimo. I was, trailing behind that from the west, and it was trying to structure into a bit of a mesocyclone. However, it just couldn't get its act together. And there are some pretty high bases out here. However, the atmosphere in Geronimo area south of Lawton is pretty ripe at this time. Temperatures are in the upper 70s dew points, which is moisture has come up. So with that being said, that has brought our cloud bases, our storm bases, just a little bit lower to the earth, which is one thing that I've noticed is that very high cloud bases, especially out to the west. Again, it was all due to that lack of moisture, but it looks like south central Oklahoma does have a bit of a richer moisture pool right now. But the storm looked good for a little bit, but it's on its way out and starting to diminish. And again, I think it's just because there's just not much push in the atmosphere right now. Now we are seeing storms that are popping up south of actually that's actually radar clutter, excuse me. But we're seeing some storms pop up as that front's pushing in. So basically, I have a really favorable road network, so I can go west, go east, north, south, whatever I need to do. But I'm trying to just keep an eye out to see what storms might pop up as that front pushes in. But overall, been a pretty quiet evening for all of Texoma.
Yeah, and we really weren't expecting a lot, but the storms did try to pop up, and as they tried to pop up, we you have to recognize that. So we thought that there was a chance that we could wind up getting something here. So, but
Well, we like you said, we knew that it was a very very low end event, if anything at all, and we didn't really anticipate much. Like you said, we were just trying to use today to kind of test out some new stuff that we're trying to pursue down the future for when we do have bigger severe weather.
Yeah. I'm still not quite there yet on what I'm doing here. Yeah, I mean, of course, you and I can talk about it more whenever come back to the station a little bit later on. But there could be a little uptick in things, Cameron. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how it all kind of plays out there. But as of right now, just based upon the radar, there's just not a whole lot going on there. You can
Yeah,
see
I'm
the
like,
front. You can see the front now trying to come in from the west, and that might help foster things a bit. But I don't know. It's just everything is really, really struggling out there this evening.
yeah, I mean, we've had pretty strong south winds in south central Oklahoma at this time as well. And in terms of the energy that's available, is that it's starting to already diminish, and we're already seeing a cap set in place. It's not a terribly strong cap at this time, but if you start seeing that cap build, it just makes for storm formation that much harder, especially at this time of the night.
Yeah, we're going to really the front will help out some, but it's not going to make it's not going to completely. I don't think it's because I don't think this is going to be. We never really thought it was going to be a big event,
No,
but it certainly isn't a big event. So you there, Cameron?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm playing around here with the thing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good, good. I can still hear you too. Then, so I'm
I
trying
know
to.
you had me muted, but I can mute, unmute myself and all that. So
No, I don't have you muted anymore. I'm just playing
no,
around with
not
some
anymore.
different
But you
things
did
here.
earlier.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Like I say, I'm just kind of playing around with some things here and trying to see what I like the best and see if I can make this a little bit better. It's a pretty cool little program here, but it's still not exactly what we're looking for here. So
We're making progress.
little, I'd say a little bit of progress, but it's still got a ways to go. But anyway, yeah. Well, I will. I got your storm chase feed on here, and hopefully we'll get a few little lightning strikes at least or something.
Maybe if we're lucky. I mean, there hasn't even been much lightning. There's been a couple rumbles of thunder here and there back when I was out west towards Snyder, but you hear rumble of thunder, next thing you know, the storm is falling apart and turned to nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of been the trend this evening has been for it to been basically nothing. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. But there's some decent storms up there along that line. With the front's now taking over there across Oklahoma, northern Oklahoma.
Yep.
But there might be a couple tornadoes up in that area. But in general, most of what we're seeing up there has mostly just been wind and hail. These storms that have developed, actually the ones that you were on earlier that have developed over there near Lawton, they're as they lift northward into Oklahoma, they do get a little bit better organized, a little bit.
Yes, but
So
but they ultimately end. You have that one that's north of Apache, but that one's going to ultimately just get smashed into the line as more storms form as well in the line. And we were looking. This kind of looks like what we saw in the computer models earlier, but they on the computer models they looked a bit more intense than what they really are.
so people say they can't see Ken Johnson. Well, what happens is in the weather computer, my camera is in the weather computer, and I can't use my camera on two different sources at one time. So
Can you
I'm
use
not
it?
sure how to remove. I can't remove the camera from my weather software. So there's just going to be some things we're going to have to work out with this that aren't worked out yet. There. Oh yeah, what's up, Ross? I'm not ignoring you. But we just got some things, some bugs to work out with this here still. But I do like the concept. I can bring in storm chasers a lot easier.
I agree.
So I do like that. It's pretty easy to use, but it's still not quite what I'm looking for just yet. So, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm monitoring the weather service here, and they're not even saying much in their chat here this evening. So, but we knew this wouldn't be a big event for us, but there might be some severe weather chances on down the road a bit. So we kind of wanted to play around with some of this stuff here first to see if before we get to a bigger event. And we're not, like I say, we're not quite there yet, but hopefully we'll get to where I want to be before too much longer.
And saying right now I'm just kind of, like I said, just kind of hanging out in Geronimo until something happens.
Yeah, we'll see if it does. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna pull in some of the latest information here and see how it looks as far as model data goes. Um, it's been it still tries to show an uptick in thunderstorms, like you say, telling Charlie there around 9 p.m. But I mean, it actually has that activity coming out of Texas increasing a bit. Is what it does.
Well, you've got those storms coming out of what is it, Ford County? You have that one popping up, but it's just they're just all struggling down here.
Well, there's just not enough push in the atmosphere and not enough moisture, really. So that's why.
So, Ken, if you look off to the west, you almost have like I actually just saw lightning strike. That's first. You have a front, but it almost looks like you have like a secondary front behind it, like another boundary.
Well, that may wind up, and I'm not sure that may wind up being the dry line there itself. It may be advancing now. The little storms up north of Lawton are trying to take off. You kind of have a little bit of a kidney bean starting to show up there, some, but you're way down in Apache, so that's probably going to be out of play, I'd imagine. But we're trying to catch anything that would come out of Texas and develop. But at least right now, best storm on radar in our area is up towards Latonka Acres, where the fire was, kind of up towards Medicine Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good little thunderstorm they're trying to finally get going. We'll see if it'll take off. But
Yeah, there's no
it's
catching that
moving
one.
it's moving into the better environment now. So that's probably looking at the velocities to see if there's any rotation in any of that stuff. And I don't see any at this time. But But that's where the better stuff is up there in central Oklahoma. Better push the atmosphere. Just not a whole lot down here. Where'd you see that lightning strike at?
It was due north of me, so looking towards Lawton, so it might have been off that storm over Medicine Park.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably what you're seeing. So
Might have been some anvil stuff.
maybe so. But anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to jump off of the live and play around with some stuff here, Cameron. But we'll be checking back in with you in a little bit if we need to. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Hold on. Let me see. Looks like I got another stream on here now, too, maybe. Let's see here. Let me see here. Looks like I got a couple streams. I got 1, 2. That's you. I'm not sure how to bring it on though. Let's see here. Oh, I do have another streamer here. All right, so this is another streamer I have. Mark, can you hear me? This is Ken Johnson.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is Mark Smith here, and he's one of one of my storm chaser friends, and he's kind of out and about right now. And Mark, so far we've been talking with Cameron, and everything's been real blah. Not a whole lot going on just yet. What are you? Where are you at, and are you experiencing anything?
No, sir. We're setting up on a Highway 82 between just west of Monster on 82. Our dew points are running about 64, and we still have the moisture feeding into it. So we're just sitting here waiting to see if that Telling Charlie develops.
What county or what town are you close to?
Munster, and we're in Monteith County.
Oh, okay, so you're staying put over there in the eastern parts of the area. Okay, well, we'll see if anything gets going right now. Not a whole lot, as you can see, just kind of quiet. But we just wanted to kind of test some stuff out here this evening. Some stuff about this little program I have here I like. Some other stuff I'm not real crazy about. We'll have to just see if we can make it work though. But we'll just keep on playing around with it here. And if anything gets going, I'll be sure to come back to you. All right.
All right. Thank you, Ken.
All right. Thank you, sir. We'll be checking in later on.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that was Mark. He's another guy that we'll probably be trying to use some as we get bigger storm events there. And Cameron, you're still with me, right?
Yeah, I'm still here. I gotta say, Ken, I just texted you, but this is awesome. This is awesome.
You like it?
I love it, man. This is cool. This is what it is now. This is what weather is these days.
Yeah, it is, and it's a lot like you and I talked about how it's kind of like a live PD. Live, whatever it was, live PD. You can just kind of check in with people. If we had a lot of action going on, we could really do a lot of flipping around. It'd be a lot of fun.
And you're the guy in the chair. Yeah,
I'm the guy in the chair doing all of it. The one thing I got to work on though is I got to find a way to be able to pull my weather graphics into this without, so I could have a zoomed in part of the screen here. Right. Because that is a bit of a hindrance though when you can't show the radar the way you want to show it. So
right.
But we might configure that part out. So we may have to give them a call and see how it all works. But
and that Ford County storm is gone.
Was there a storm in Ford County?
Was it Ford or Hardman? Which one's Vernon? I'm terrible with.
You're in Wilbarger County. Yeah, it just crapped out there. It's not there's again just not enough push there to the atmosphere. But as that front begins to dive in, I think over the next couple of hours these will probably take off a bit. So we'll see what happens in the meantime.
Maybe take a little nap.
Yep. So, all right, I'm going to jump off of the stream for now, and I'll be back checking in with you